Hello, and welcome to another daily devotion as we get into the season of Lent. And perhaps one of the best biblical stories, one of my favorites, but also one perfect for Lent, is the story of Jacob. Here's this guy who's lied and cheated and deceived and done anything he can to get to the top. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Anyway, he does whatever he's got to do. Opportunistically, even hurting people in his own family because he wants to feed his ambitions. But what goes around comes around, and though Jacob runs from his problems, as many of us do, there's no running from God. And eventually, every bill comes due. And Jacob, as he's at the edge of the river Jabbok, is wrestling with God. And I like to think also wrestling with himself. By this river, he knows that tomorrow he's got to face the music, own up to who he's been, and face his brother Esau, who it sounds like still holds a grudge and wants him dead, for good reason. And Jacob just isn't sure what to do. Did he cause all this mess? Yeah, probably. Does he deserve his brother's wrath? Most definitely. And he's scared, and he's unsure. He could keep running for the rest of his life, from every shadow, everything he's afraid of. But Jacob's tired of running. And as God has met him in this night, something's happened. All the time before, Jacob says, as he's making deals with God, if you give me this, or you help me with this, God of my grandfather Abraham, God of my daddy Isaac. But not this time. No. When he's wrestling with God at the river Jabbok, he says, "You're my God now." And God says, "You're not Jacob anymore. You're Israel. You've struggled with God, and you realized for once through your thick head that maybe you can't do this all on your own." As we enter into a season of Lent, a wilderness journey, a time of reflection of where we've been and who we've been, this is one of the greatest texts. As our past sometimes haunts us, keeps up with us, the could've, would've, should've's of life. And in our wrestling in this season of introspection, what is it God has to say to us? Will we let the grace of God have us and change us? As Paul would say, from our old selves, under constructed into something new, and a new beginning. Beyond all the giving up of things, and my Catholic friends and growing up Catholic, fish fries and not eating any other meat other than fish. Check the history of fishmongering in Europe. But outside the economic gain, it was always about giving something up. Well, that's great and it's powerful. But Lent is really aligned with spring because it's about growth. How do we think about how do I go deeper with God? How do I get more serious about my faith life so that it really is a part of who I am? As I'm at this riverbed, looking into the water and seeing my reflection, is this the person I want to be before God and before others? And if it's not, let's get serious this Lent about changing that. You have the power, and God gives us the gift every day to say, all that stuff that you're carrying, all that baggage, it's never too late.